do what you have to do
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all the time. Do what you have to do.
Amen. I
Prioritize
love it.
yourself,
I like that. I
regardless
like
of
that.
all.
I like that because
Yeah.
people like to, take other people's feelings in consideration, which is okay. But sometimes just especially when it comes to your dream, only you know your dream, only you see the vision. God gave you that vision, so you got to go execute it. Nobody else can do it but you, because it was given to you. So I love that.
Are you ready for the...
Welcome back. We are here, back on Island Money 365. And we have the wonderful Evelyn Ruiz. Why can I say a word today? With us today. I'm so excited. Welcome, Evelyn. Woo, woo.
Let's go. We on Island Money. We've been waiting to get on Island Money for a while now. Thanks for
I know
having
it's
me.
been a while. Of course. I've seen you through different, parts of your journey, because I met you when it was an idea and we're just starting out, like right in the beginning. And then I see you again. Cause we're around the same area, so we're running into each other at different business events. And I'm like, okay, where you at now? And you're like, it's on the road. Where you at now? Well, so I'm so excited to see you all over the place.
Yes, we are moving and grooving. It's so crazy that it really did just start off with an idea, meeting you. And the check-ins every time we ran into an event was just like a progress every single time. And it was just honestly hurdles after hurdles, but we finally jumped over them and we was running. And now it's takeoff season. I have so many like great things to share now.
Let me do a little bio, because yes, every time I saw you, it was a little check-in. It's like, it could be like a benchmark, right? I'm like, Petra, guess what's happening now? But let's read your bio a little bit. As I said, I'm so excited. I'm so super proud. Sorry, my kids.
Thank you. No, you're
okay,
good.
so here we go. Evelyn Ruiz. Okay, so it's a proud owner of Hasta Luego friend, which when I first met, I'm like, yes, that's a great name. A mobile cafe trailer business born from resilience, heritage, and heart. I love it. I love it. From Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford. Welcome to
Heartbeat.
Heartbeat. So Evelyn's journey spanned from Miami Beach, New York, and back home again, back here in Connecticut. After an unexpected layoff in 2023, ended her 17-year corporate career, she chose to transform grief into purpose by building a brand rooted in legacy. Inspired by her grandparents, who once owned a beloved bodega and Latin restaurant in the 70s, Evelyn is reviving that spirit, one cup of Cafecito at a time. Did I do that right? Because I took like 5 years of Spanish and that was it.
You got it, Cafecito. It sounds good. That was all natural right there.
I know, right? That's 5 years of Spanish and that's what I can give you.
That's all you need. I got you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so for Evelyn, cafe isn't just a drink, it's love, healing, and connection. I'm so excited, as we mentioned before at the top of the show, that you're here, because we run into circles all the time. We're like, hey! But seriously, let's break it down. Because people say, they might see you now, and I've seen your journey. And I might see you, and I'm like, oh, look what she's doing. This didn't happen overnight. So let's break it down from the beginning, like the struggles and the hurdles you had to be here right now. Tell them, Evelyn, because this was not an easy road.
This was not an easy road, y'all. This was, I started this in September 2020. Actually, let me backtrack. April 2023 was when I was let go from corporate. And, I started to spend time with family and spending time with my grandmother, right? I started to spend time with my grandmother in Connecticut, traveling back and forth to New York because I was grieving. I didn't know what to do. After 17 years, pretty much my whole life, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to start. So I started to spend time with family, and my grandmother tells me this story about my great-grandfather. And I always knew about this story, but it didn't hit me until I was jobless and I didn't have anything and my family didn't have anything. And she tells me that we had this bodega. My great-grandfather had this bodega and a restaurant connected on Main Street and downtown Hartford, off Main Street and Park Street, and he lost everything in a fire. And after that, he gave up. And I was like, oh no, we're not giving up. Like, we need something to our name. So I started to brainstorm. I always wanted my own cafe, my own cafe. I've always wanted a cafe with food. Bar version. It would be, you know, coffee, wine, a restaurant, a little bit of everything. I just didn't know what I want, you know? So I started to brainstorm and the algorithm hit. The algorithm hit. And you know how that works. When the algorithm and your phone is just listening to you, there's this guy on my screen like, hey, do you want to start your own mobile cafe business? Are you stuck? Like, I'm like, what? You know, it was, Petra, I promise you, it was wild. I locked in. I listened to his story and I felt a connection and I was like, oh my God, this is the perfect opportunity. And I was so inspired and driven by his story that I decided to mock the same thing he had. He had the same exact trailer. I said, I want that trailer. I want that same exact trailer. I was on a mission. I was on a mission. I wasn't on unemployment. I was bootstrapping my last of my savings. I decided to finally like dip into my 401k. So I had to dip into my retirement to survive. And I said, this is it. This is it. I'm not looking back. I was applying for jobs without any energy, you know? And at that time I was in a relationship and the person that I was with, they were really scared for me. And, you know, they're like, oh, like, you should start looking for a job. You know, rent is really high here in New York, you know? So, you know, and I felt that like, but I felt so good where I was like, God got me at the end of the day. Like, we're going to be fine. Like, we got this. Like, don't worry. Like, I'm going to make it happen somehow. We will make it happen. And, you know, I decided to take from my 401k and I was like, we're buying a trailer. I'm buying a trailer. And sure enough, I was not on social media for like 3 years. So I got on Facebook Marketplace on somebody else's account and I was shopping. I'm like, vintage scamp trailer. Boom, I found it. And guess where it was?
Hartford?
No, Orlando, Florida.
My gosh.
Orlando, Florida. $6,500. The seller said, first come, first serve. I was like, sir, please, please. I'm telling you right now, I'm in New York. I will drive over there within the next 24 hours with my family to go pick it up. Can my uncle see it? You know, I have family and friends out there from the time that I was living out there. I shout out to my Uncle Willie because my Uncle Willie, Theo, you came through. Theo went and he never met a stranger off online. And he's meeting this random stranger from Facebook Marketplace for his niece. Like, hey, you know, so thankfully, you know, my had her location on him. But he gets to the trailer safely and the seller's showing him around and I'm on the phone with my dads and we're like, yep, you know, it's in good standing. The frame is good. My ride or die, my stepdad, Angel, and my mom, Mary, we drove the next day from Hartford to Orlando, Florida, and picked up that trailer.
Oh,
we
man.
picked it up. We picked it up, we got some food, and we drove back home.
Look, I know that ride is hard because I drove to South Carolina, and my husband and I looked at each other like, well, we had to pull over in Virginia to sleep a little bit. Expected. We were virgins.
The Carolinas are the longest. That's the whole country right there. Like, we're just riding.
We were newbies. This is our first road trip. We're like, this is not the way it's supposed. This is not what I hear. It was like this. People talk about it at work. It's like this fantasy. It was a wonderful road trip. I'm like, this is nasty.
Let me tell you something. And it's not a road trip. It's not fun when you rolling with your parents too. They were bickering with each other. I was like, let me drive. I need a break from you guys. Oh my God. But it was a time.
But seriously though, Evelyn, how wonderful is it to have family that even though they don't see your vision and have a vision, just believe in you because you say it's gonna happen. And it's so wonderful to have that kind of love and support, you know. Because I can tell my mom I'm going to the moon tomorrow. She's like, yeah, honey. I mean, I don't have any degrees in astrology. I don't know what you need to go to the moon. But if I tell her I'm going to the moon tomorrow, she was like, okay, honey, let me know when to be there so I can send you. It's just that belief and that faith.
That's it. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy trying to get him onto that side because, like taking a risk, taking a chance, this is all scary and new to them. My stepdad was an entrepreneur. He was a retired car mechanic, and he had garages, and he would do sales and also repairs. So he had entrepreneurship. My mom was, working corporate and also foster care. So she was doing mom duties full time at pretty much her whole life. And then my dad, he's still working. So like my biological dad supported me, but also held me accountable. Like, you need health insurance, like was so worried about me. Like, I'm like, Bob, I'm going to be good. You got to trust me. Listen to me. And he thought I was crazy. I'm not going to lie. He kept calling me. He was like, you're crazy. You know that? But I love you. Like, I'm here. And like, he's just one of those that stays behind the scenes. And like, that year, 2023, he surprised me financially. Like, I thought that he wasn't going to support. This is the crazy part. I thought he wasn't going to support me at all. Like, all right, good luck. Because he kept saying, good luck. You got this. And Christmas Day, he sure enough hooked it up in the bank account and funded Hasta Luego, friend, and was like, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. And let's keep moving forward. I was able to purchase top equipment, Petra. Like, the espresso machine and the grinders were like, they were more than the trailer.
Oh, wow.
Combined together, those two piece of items were $7,500, and I paid $6,500 for the trailer. Although obviously like the work in the trailer, was more, but the two machines. So let me tell you how I started. I started with a home brewer, drip brew, and a French press, and a home frother. I was doing catering services in Connecticut, February 2024, because my trailer was still working. So I purchased the trailer in 2023, and it was in the works. And then winter happened. So once winter happened, we had to pause the trailer. So I had to figure out and pivot. So once I purchased the trailer in September, and then, the season started to change. It started to get cold, winter. So we had to make sure that we had to stop what we were doing and pivot. So I bought a foldable cart. So a foldable cart, because I don't have a cargo type of vehicle where I can haul all these things. I have a RAV4 where I need to be able to like pack up the car. So I found the cart all the way from like Germany off Etsy, and I started from there. I started off with a foldable table. I bought some home coffee maker items, equipment to make drip coffee, espresso off a mocha pot, and I use like a home-based frother, and I was just making coffee from there.
Let's talk about that though, Evelyn. Seriously, some people always, let's not say some people come up with an excuse that, oh, I don't have this, so I can't start. You started despite all of it with a little fraud. I don't know what those is, because I don't drink coffee. But look, you talk with the home stuff. Like, you know what? Even if I got to whip this by myself, I'm going to make it happen. So that is just simply amazing. Just talk about that grit.
Thank you for making me touch base on that, because that is a vital, very crucial piece on starting a business. You do not need to have everything to start a business. I don't know where we get that idea from. Like, you just make it happen. Honestly, like, you grab what you have, whatever resources you have, whatever equipment, as long as you have your heart, your hands, and your mind is ready, you're good to go. Like, I purchased a small French press, and that literally takes 5 minutes to make coffee. I bought cold brew that was already pre-made, and my mother would make coquito. So all the coquito was pre-made. And coquito, for those that don't know what coquito is the Puerto Rican eggnog minus the egg. So it's non-alcoholic. And we put it in our coffee, we put it in our matcha, we put it in our chai, and we put it in our hot chocolate. So that's a Hasta Luego, friend. Build your own coquito signature drinks. So I was trying to, try to create an experience and also kind of like stand out because I'm a mobile cafe business. There's other mobile cafe businesses in Connecticut and also coffee shops in Connecticut. So why me? So I had to try to figure out and think outside the box. I was including my mother. She makes the coquito for us, and the coquito is so good. It has the condensed milk, evaporated milk, nutmeg, cinnamon, coconut. It is so tasty, especially in the hot chocolate. I didn't think the hot chocolate coquito is really good. I know you don't drink coffee, but I may get you on the hot chocolate coquito.
You're gonna get me on the hot
Or
chocolate. I was like,
I'm
I
gonna
gotta go
get you on the hot chocolate,
hot
and I'm gonna get
chocolate.
you on
Yes.
the matcha too. So
Okay.
we had
Okay.
all these, we had all these small pieces. So like, it's so crazy, Petra. Like, and I forgot to even tell you, I didn't have any experience on being a
There you go.
barista.
I know you told me when we first met, and I'm like, you go, girl. I'm like, yeah.
I just knew I wanted to make coffee. I know how to make drip coffee at the house. I know how to make a coffee pot, but how to work an espresso machine, how to froth the milk, I didn't know how to do any of that. So, in December 2023, a friend of mine, Mario, was like, he was also let go from corporate. He was like, I used to work for Starbucks in high school. I could teach you. And we took off. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I could not, but like when I tell you alignment, everything was just falling in place for me. I was trying to do all this in New York. Every door was just closing, closing, closing. I was like, it's time for me to come back home. Like, I have to
Yeah.
return back home. And the
Mm-hmm.
moment I returned back home, every single door kept opening, and it just was takeoff season. Like, there was takeoff season and there was no looking back, and it just continues to fly. Like,
Awesome.
I just have this anxiety. Like, I can't even like explain the feeling that I have. Like, I
That's awesome.
I just can't believe it. I
I
really can't
can.
believe it
I
sometimes.
can. I can because I heard the passion when I first met you when we had that cohort, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, yes, when you're giving your pitch, when you're giving your pitch for the idea, and I'm like, oh yeah, I love this idea. But let's go back to the money part, Evelyn. As we're talking about that, we're gonna get into all the other good stuff. But let's talk about when you were fixing up that truck and the hurdles you had, especially financially, and the setbacks you had with that. Because as I said, people now you're looking back, you're like, it is worth it. We're in our season. But let's talk about when you got that truck, you brought it up here and you had to fix it up, and the
Ooh.
experiences that you learned as an entrepreneur early on, which I'm glad you learned them.
Wow, yes. Honestly, that was not an easy process because one, the roof, it didn't have a roof. It was leaking. It was leaking. It needed so much, the wood and the inside of the flooring needed to be rebuilt. I spent so much money dumping into the trailer, but thankfully my dad Angel was handy. So I didn't have to hire outside. I had to hire within family, so the labor cost was cheaper, but it took time. And when you're dealing with your own family, time is everything. But one of my like learning experiences that I had was wrapping the trailer was not the greatest experience I had, and I'm all about circulating money in the community. I went with another small business owner and I seen them through social media. I seen that they had a small following, also looked like they kind of was starting with wrapping vehicles and all that. So I reached out and they were like, yeah, I think I could do the job. And the biggest lesson that I've learned was contracts, contracts, shopping around, negotiation. I dropped almost over $4,000 in wrapping a 13-footer trailer, and it took 4 months to wrap. Like, when I tell other businesses that are in the same field and provides the same service, they always tell me that I kind of they were like, yeah, they got you. And it's just like, it's not the greatest feeling, but, lesson learned. There's no bad blood there. Like, I was disappointed. I was really disappointed. I wasn't happy because I didn't get the trailer within the 2 weeks that he said that he promised me that I was gonna get it in. I dropped it off on January 8th, and I get it around like April,
Oh my
I don't
God.
know, second week of April. So I was just like, and then not only that, picking up the trailer, my lights were broken, brake lights were broken. The lighting to the trailer was just, it was just all over. My dad had to fix all the lighting, replace all the lights to the brake. And then like it was just like all he could give me was a free banner. And I was just like, you couldn't even give me he was like, no, like it took time. And I guess it had to, because it was also an experience for him. And I wish he kind of would have just said that he didn't have that specific experience with that specific trailer, because I would have just
Mm-hmm.
shopped around,
Yeah.
but he was pretty confident on his job and,
Mm.
on his skill. And I've seen the work, seen the work on the cars, but that is a difficult shape and it's fiberglass. So he was telling me that he had to rewrap it. So that's when the empathy, I was being sympathetic about that, because like, okay, I could understand that, but communicate with me. Don't BS me. Like, yeah, it's coming along in one more week. One more week. Every week was one more week. I'm like, come on. And it was another Hartford business owner. And it's like, we got to look out for each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but that was that. I didn't do anything like leave them a review on Google or a website. I paid fully, and we just kept it pushing. We kept it
Mm-hmm.
pushing. It still looks good. I love the color. It's
It's
still holding
beautiful.
up.
It's beautiful.
Thank
It's
you.
just
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Even after I heard the story, I was like, oh, Evelyn. But it's so beautiful. No, I've had my own stories. So every entrepreneur have their stories, their learning moment. But that's what makes you stronger, more resilient as an entrepreneur. And it's a lesson learned, Earlier you were saying that like when you're talking about something, you heard something and it's just hit you differently. And I was reading a book recently, and I forgot the author, which I don't like doing. I like to give people credit, but I've heard it saying all the time, but she said it's so impactful. And for the first time, it hit me so differently. And it's like, things are not happening to you, it's happening for you. And you are a direct
Wow.
representation of that. You ever say things, I mean, for you, for good and all that kind of thing. But just the way she said it, I'm like, oh, it does hit you differently, right?
Wow. And just to like really resonate and think about that, like, was I even ready to launch the trailer in January? No. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
really did happen for a reason, because I
Mm-hmm.
was able to launch the car. I was able to practice, doing those first few events, and the trailer wasn't even ready. Like the trailer wasn't even ready to launch or get its permits yet, because the
Mm-hmm.
plumbing took forever. That was another obstacle, and like permits, inspections, like those are hurdles you're going to go through. And not to mention the food manager certificate. I want to share that I failed 2 times. I failed 2 times. The second time I failed, I cried. I was so upset. Because, when you like, I was studying, like, I was so mad. I studied I studied my butt off for that test. And like that, they had like, I don't know what you call them, but you hire someone and they like watch you take the exam, right?
Yeah.
So this person takes me to a Starbucks at the mall where it's noisy and I can't focus. I need to be in a room where it's quiet. We're in a Starbucks and like there's music, there's like they're cashing out, like there's just traffic in and out. And I'm like, how am I supposed to focus? I'm like, can I wear headphones? They're like, no, that's not part of the, it's part of the rules that you can't wear.
Wait
And
a
I
minute.
was
They brought you
like,
to a Evelyn. Wait. I don't interrupt my guest, but they brought you to a Starbucks to take the test. Is that allowed?
I don't even know, and I didn't even know the rules. And I'm like, I just felt like I got for $100 hiring this person. Like, I paid this person to come take me to a public. I was like, we couldn't even go to a quiet study co-space, workspace, or a library. I was like, I could not focus. I could not focus. and it wasn't good. And I left crying. And I remember the woman just calling me like, well, I can help you take, like, let's study. These are the questions you got to study on. I didn't call her back. I was like, nope, I'm not calling her back. I bought a book from Amazon. I started to read that. It was a study exam. And then I took the test, and I think they were retaking it in a group where you had an actual teacher, an actual instructor going over. And I was like, where were you? Exam number 1. But lesson learned, honestly, exam number 1, Petra, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't study. I thought I was gonna pass because I thought it was like the food handler. What? God has something else for me. It was like, nah, baby girl, you had to study for that. Like, you're dealing with a whole nother level now where you're dealing with temperature, you're dealing with food safety. So it just makes sense. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. So make sure when you do, if you're opening a business for any food or beverages, you need to study. Okay. Study in the whole entire month. Study.
I
But
love it. I love it.
3 times, and we got that. And I'll have to take it
Congratulations.
next 5 years. So
Congratulations. I'm very proud of you.
thank you.
But no, it's true though, because sometimes some things come so natural and easy to us that we just feel like everything is. I mean, oh, don't worry about it. I'm smart. I got this. Not realizing you got to put some work in. You got to sow some seeds if you're going to reap some rewards. You got to tilt that land, y'all.
You do. And guess what? When you fail on the twice, like when you fail 2 times, you have to wait 60 days. So that delayed me. I was just like hurdle after hurdle. I was so hurt. I was like, wow. So while I had to wait for the 60 days, I was like applying pressure on my dad, Angel, like, let's get this plumbing done. Let's get this, and we finally got it in July. We got our permit, and we went through inspection, and I celebrated like that week. I said I was going to come back and offer them free services. And I promised them that. And I did that for the city of Hartford inspectors because I felt like they were very patient with me. Shout out to Brian from City of Hartford Environmental Health. He was very patient with me. He even gave me a study guide as well for the food manager, but I've already taken it. I was like, I don't need this, but thank you. I will hold on to it for future references. But he walked everything down, and to like really come across anyone like that while building a business is very rare. Very rare. A lot of people don't want to take the time to talk to you, to like just even show you or teach you. So that's why like it's really important to me when people ask me those questions like, hey, like I want to start my own business. I encourage them. You know what I mean? Like it's all about taking action. At the end of the day, you got to like just do it. You could do what you're doing now and build on your brand and your business, and then when you're ready, you let go and you're free from that.
Totally agree. I love that. You have to take action. So it's good to feel good. You can watch all the videos. You can build all the things you want. Have your website, but you have to take action. You got to go out there. You got to get the self-made frauder. You got to do all that stuff.
You do.
And go through that pain to get the results that you want.
No pain, no gain. That is a real thing. I had to
But guess what though? Evelyn, guess what though? If anything should happen to you, God forbid, you know how to start from scratch. You already have that knowledge. You know what it takes. So you're ready to grind. And it's like, okay, I've been through this before. I got this. So you have that experience versus if you just had gotten it handed to you, you wouldn't have known how to build. So you know how to build. So that is so true. So have you begun paying yourself yet? Because, entrepreneurship, you're putting a lot of work. You're paying out, but then you don't have much left to pay yourself after you take off all the expenses and the people. So let's talk about that piece of it.
Yeah, so as far as paying myself, I don't pay myself as much after everything because now I have 2 new projects that I'm working on. And I'm going to share. I purchased a new trailer. So now it's a bigger trailer. So like that, I can have a full set kitchen to provide food and also the beverages as well. So I have a new trailer, and now I'm also working on a brick and mortar. And the brick and mortar, I've been bootstrapping, so I have not really paid myself. It's just been all going back into Hasta Luego, friend. And, and Hasta Luego, friend, and my parents, because those are my employees for the time being. And also, my friends, when they can help here and there. I have a cousin, Mimi, my friend Mario, and Helen. Those are my main people that could help me do catering gigs for barista. Because my parents they will not operate the espresso machine, and they won't
Mm.
do the cash register. So taking orders, they could do customer service from the background, but they're just not there yet. So like, I'm really proud of my mom because she went from prepping the cups to now making matcha drinks and the refresher drink. So okay, she's on level 2. Now I need her to get a level 3. So it's like levels with them. So I have not yet started to pay myself an actual salary because I'm working on these 2 other projects.
Mm. So why did you decide to start these projects right now among everything else that because you're lifting off? I mean, woof! I see you everywhere. So, like I said, that I know I tell you to one more time. I know I tell you all the time that I'm proud of you, but man, I am so impressed and proud of you. So like, how you doing all this all at once? Why do you just say, no, let's go with this and build a little profit, and then so why all at once, Evelyn?
I feel like I have I feel like the opportunity that came for me is meant to happen now. So I want to be able to launch the brick and mortar right away. I feel like that's going to be launched in summer, and that's where the profit is going to start coming because everything is bootstrapped. I'm literally taking everything that's in the mobile inside. And then when I have a catering, it's just going to take turns. And when I see that traffic come, same thing. Remember, I'm not going to have everything. And I told myself I had to retrain myself again for the brick and mortar. You have all the equipment for a coffee shop. It's in your trailer. You're going to bring that inside, play with the volume. If the volume is booming, then we level up to getting those bigger machines. And, that's going to be able to hold that volume. And then, we're still going to do the catering. But I strongly feel that the brick and mortar is just going to take off for me. And that's where I'm going to start seeing my finances finally return back to me, where I'm going to be able to profit and pay myself finally.
Okay. So, okay. What was your money story growing up? Like, seriously, what was it like for you financially? If you know, because sometimes our parents hide it from us, but what was your money story for your family and for yourself growing up until where you are today?
My parents, they had me at 17, so they were always working. They were always working, and they provided as much as they could. Like, we did live when my mom met my stepdad, he was also the provider at the house, and they just kind of leveled up. I would see them just really working hard, and I wouldn't want to say maybe when I was between 1 to 4 years old is when we were really poor, I would say, because we were living in the projects and Anawan projects, right there off Weathersfield Avenue, and which is full circle moment for me because now I'm gonna have a brick and mortar on Weathersfield Avenue, so it's full circle coming back. And I just remember kind of not having it all, and it's crazy, but I still have good visuals and good memory of that age group, right? But I was still happy, joyful, and grateful for what we had growing up. I've seen my parents struggle, but I've seen them level up every single time. They went from the projects to a duplex, to a single family house, to a bigger single family house. And it was just constant growth and also evolving. So they did what they had to do for themselves. And then my stepdad started to entrepreneur life. And you know, my biological dad started to be a real estate investor, but it wasn't for him. He was just like, too much work. I want to deal with tenants. So I'm good with my single family house and we're good. And you know, like my dad, he's good. He's always worked hard. He's always working overtime. So like I had it really good coming, you know, I have a bonus dad and I got a dad. So I was good financially. Like my family, you know, I could say that my dad spoiled me. And like sometimes when I'm with my mom, like, oh, my dad would buy me the latest, greatest sneakers when I got, you know, older. And then my mom was like, we're not buying you that. You know, like we can't afford that. You're gonna get these. And maybe when you're with your dad, he'll buy you that. You know, like
Oh,
it
so
was just
you
like
couldn't
that.
play them
But
against you couldn't play them against each other. You
no,
couldn't.
I couldn't. I couldn't. I
Ah.
couldn't. I tried. I tried. But yeah, it was, you know, I've always seen them always working, and they provided for us, provided for my siblings, and they did what they had to do. And I'm just like, wow. Like I see myself at my age now that I'm like, that's when they had me. And I'm just like, raising kids now, just think about, because I don't have any kids. And I'm like, my parents really did that, you know, with a house and all that, like just financially holding it down with multiple cars, more than one kid. And back then, like pay wasn't even all of that, and they still were able to manage and fulfill our lives and still be able to support us. So
That's
I'm just
awesome.
grateful.
Are you a sneakerhead, Evelyn?
I am. I am.
Oh man.
So
Well, you
what?
know that collection might have to go to might have to go on sale for your for
Oh
your.
no, that's so I did that on 2023.
Oh, break! Tell
I
me about that.
sold, oh wow. So 2023, I had a collection from every state I lived in. I had over
Oh,
100 pairs. So I had a total of 400 sneakers,
oh my gosh.
and they were all in storage. And when I was visiting from New York to home here in Hartford, I went through the storage and I just put them on Mercury. It was a shopping app, and I was getting rid of them and just selling them, selling them, selling them, selling them, selling them. And that was honestly, that was going into Lee, getting Lee fixed up, getting the trailer fixed up. It was all going into Lee, making sure that everything was needed. It was buying the supplies, really buying the supplies for my trailer.
Tell him who Lee is. I know who Lee is, but tell him who Lee is.
That's right. That's right. For those that don't know who Lee is our girl, our coffee trailer. She, her are her pronouns. That's our baby, and she's outside. You know, I love like really like I love when I would like make posts like Lee's out here getting her BBL when she was getting, you know, like they all want to know where Lee's at. Lee is just the greatest. She is the main character.
There
Lee
you
is the
go. There
main
you go.
character.
But it's not amazing though when you have a dream, everything you sold that. 'Cause I know you love your collection, right? It's not you had them in storage. It's not like you were wearing them, enjoying them every day. It's like I mean, these were your collection. These were your babies, and just like that, you had no problem. Or did you have some problem letting go? Was it like you know what, my dream is bigger? You just got rid of them.
Shout out to my online mentors, which I forgot to mention in the beginning, Julian Gordon and also Natasha Verla. If it wasn't for Julian Gordon to have me emotionally detached from material things, I would have been so sentiment with every shoe. Prior
Mm-hmm.
to him, oh yeah, it was an emotional attachment to my stuff. I was like, no, I had them for years. I don't want to let them go. When I tell you I had sneakers from high school still in
Oh
my
wow.
collection.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
it was that
how
deep.
much did you get? I mean, everything and everyone of them had a story, I'm sure. So how much did you get for your collection? And did you get the value? You think?
No, no, I did not give the value because guess what happens to sneakers when you hold them for that long?
How long? What happened?
They start to deteriorate.
Oh, so you have to
Yes.
wear
So
them.
there was so many sneakers that I had in storage I sold I'll never forget, I sold about like 7 pairs to this one woman. She sends me picture, the shoe fell apart on
Oh
her.
my
So I
gosh.
had to like give her back her money, like, and she didn't even want her money, she just wanted more shoes. I was like, yeah,
So
it got to that point where the sneakers were coming apart, the soles, and they were just it was just the humid in the
yeah.
storage and like mold. It was,
So you have
so
to. There's a special way to store them, I'm sure, so that you don't
there
have that
is.
happen to you.
There
Okay.
is. Don't
Okay.
leave them in storage. Don't leave them in storage because
So
I
tell me
spent,
about.
over $100 on every shoe, and I
Oh
did not get
man.
that back. So I would get back from these shoes. I would get back $20 to $100.
Oh man. Oh man. But
So I
let's talk
made a
about your.
good like 5K.
Okay. Okay. That's more than what I get for my kids when I return my kids' clothes. when I sell them secondhand, I get like $20. What's to put a child? $20. Here you go. But but let's talk about your abuela, right? You call abuela. Like, tell me, what's her migration story? How did she end up in Hartford, and then to this legacy that you're building or adding?
Yeah, so while I was here, she moved out here in '69. And she moved out here because her brother moved out here first, and that's when, her parents, Jose and also Mama, we call them Mama and Papa, they decided to move to Hartford because one of the sons, which was her brother, Wella's brother, and Wella was working in the restaurant and the bodega and also the tobacco field. So she has been working since the age of 14, and she stopped working in her late 60s. And all she knew was hard work, and she was the one that told me the story, and I was just like blown away, like, well, we have to do something. And moving back to Connecticut, I ended up taking care of her. I'm her caretaker. So not only am I a full-time entrepreneur, I'm also a full-time caretaker. I'm her caretaker, and that's a lot. That's a lot alone, trying to balance both things. But thankfully, the family is now supporting because things are getting a little bit more heavier with the brick and mortar. So we're on a set schedule and stuff. But if it wasn't for Wella telling me this story, and also like her resiliency of just like working hard, raising 3 kids on her own, which my mom and my 2 uncles, just seeing her, I feel like I always had that hard work ethic, from just seeing it from my family and my background. Like, that's all they do is just work. And I need to see something for us at the end of the day. Like, we need
Mm.
something for us. So when she told me that, I was just like, all right, this is it. This is it. We're doing this for us.
Do you know why she left Puerto Rico?
She really left because she followed her dad. She
Okay.
followed her dad, and they wanted a better life here because my great uncle said that there's money out here, and my grandfather, my great grandfather Jose was, he sold a piece of acre and betted on himself. He betted on himself, and he took a chance, and that's when he bought the restaurant and the market on Main Street.
So
And
how does the
so
abuela think now? What she think of you and all you're doing? She must be like super proud.
she is unbelievably proud, and she just like, her thing is, she's like, and I don't know if this is like a cultural thing, but she's like, stop telling people your moves. Like, she's just like, keep it
It's
quiet.
cultural, yeah. It is cultural.
Stop telling. She's like, not everyone is your friend, and stop telling like, no, don't announce nothing, and keep it on the down low. And she will side eye anyone that'll introduce her, because I take her to business meetings because I'm taking care of her.
Mhm.
I'm like, hey, Walla, they know who Walla is. Walla's part of the deal. She has to come with me. So it is what it is. We got to make these deals with Walla. Sometimes she's just can't even believe it that she's in these rooms with me, but she's just like, you're crazy, but I'm here. I support it.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. How did you come up with the name? I love the name, as I told you from the beginning. I love the name. How did the name come about?
The name came about because it's actually like the return of, it's really my return for home. Like, see you later. I really thought I was never going to come back home. So the joke is on me.
Like,
Hasta luego, friend. We are going to always see that person no matter what year it is, how much time goes by, you're always going to see that person again. So it's always going to be see you later. Like, literally, like that. I don't know. Alignment happens. People come across you and you still reconnect. You will
I know,
reconnect with that person again. It
like,
happens.
like us, every 3 months, we're like, hey,
Yeah.
what's up?
Literally. I was like, all right, hasta luego. I'll see you. It just happened.
It's just how we're always seeing each other.
It's
And I'm
literally
like,
naturally. And like how I honestly, like every time I would like leave someone, I would say, all right, later, later, later. It was always later to me. I'll see you later. And I'm
awesome.
Spanglish. So it's hasta luego, friend. That's why it's in Spanglish. I'm Spanglish.
It's okay. It's okay. We love you and we accept you still, Evelyn.
Yeah.
I'm sure they still want you in the community. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. So what is one saying? It's something I always ask my guests. What is one saying or proverb that, your family always used as correction, as a teaching in life for you?
I feel like there's so many. There's so many. There's so many, especially like from my grandmother from Wella. She's just, I think like I gotta think about this one. It's just, let's see. No, I could just hear her voice right now. But what she always tells me, and it's so cute because she has an accent, do what you have to do
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all the time. Do what you have to do.
Amen. I
Prioritize
love it.
yourself,
I like that. I
regardless
like
of
that.
all.
I like that because
Yeah.
people like to, take other people's feelings in consideration, which is okay. But sometimes just especially when it comes to your dream, only you know your dream, only you see the vision. God gave you that vision. So you got to go execute it. Nobody else can do it but you because it was given to you. So I love that. So where can they find you? You're always on the move, but where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram, Hasta Luego Friend, Facebook, and TikTok. We're on every social platform, and our website is hastaluegofriend.com. I'm always popping up, do pop-ups all over Hartford, pretty much all over Connecticut, but my love is in Hartford because this is for our people. I want to give them an experience. And, Hartford people deserve great experiences and also great coffee and great vibes. We just don't only serve coffee. We also serve chocolate, hot chocolate, and also teas as well. So come check us out. And, we're just a vibe. We're going to bring that vibe to you. It's going to be nothing but smiles when you see us. And you get a cool meme sticker every time you order a drink from us. And it's like spring. And we got really nice spring seasonal drinks right now. So I do want to mention that I like this Marco Polo flyer thing that I do. Like, I like to drop flyers last minute, like, come find us. And people actually come. And I really like that. I'll be like, stay tuned, a new location pop up, and people are engaging and they're tuned in and they'll pull up.
That's because your content is great. Do you do that by yourself or you hired someone?
Oh my God. So yes. And now I just recently hired my friend Helen, who is now taking over my social media manager. She just created the Cinco de Mayo one with me making the tequila teenies. I was like, yes, girl. But everything else has been me. And like that is also with no experience, and that took a lot of discomfort. Like, whoo, I don't like getting in front of the camera. I don't like hearing me talk. It's cringe. So I know when you finish with this recording, I'm just gonna be like, I can't listen to myself.
You better not, Evelyn. You better not. I need the viewership. No.
Nah, I will.
It's so good.
No,
No,
this is
it's
so
good.
great.
I'm happy that now you have somebody else to do, because you're taking one thing off your plate. So you can, that's how you scale, by when you get to a point, you can, okay, you do this, I can pay you to do this. Now you do this. So you can focus on what it is that the business is. It's generating business, going out there, being the face, because you are, but you're doing a fantastic job on social. I'm like, look at her. Well, let me
Thank
let me
you.
comment, because it makes no sense if we say we're supporting each other and we don't support each other. Like, what am I doing sitting back here? I'm like, no, I'm like, you go, girl. Good.
No,
And
thank you.
I'm
Thank
always
you. We need
support, as
all
you
the
can
support.
see.
Ah, yes, my girl. I love that. For real.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'm so happy that you came through. I love your story as always, and I hope you enjoyed yourself here on Alec Money 365.
I
You
sure
see
did.
where you can find her. Follow her on all her socials. You will laugh. I love her content, and you can find out where she's next, so you can visit her. And if you're not sure, she's also on all kind of other media, radio, TV. I'm like, yes, go girl. She is all over your feet. Anywhere you want to see her, she is there. Even if you don't want to see her, she's going to pop up, because that's what she does, okay? So until next time, remember, keep your money irate.
Hasta luego, friend.